We are live.
Okay, thank you. This regular meeting of the Trenton Parks and Recreation Board on October 14th, 2025 is called to order at 6 o'clock p.m. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Ms. Hale,
Here.
Ms. Butts,
Here.
Mr. Croucher,
Here.
Ms. Lucas,
Here.
Mr. Prophet,
Here.
Ms. Hatter,
Here.
Mr. Mello.
Here.
I'd like to entertain a motion to excuse those members who are not present this evening, which would include Mr. Hill.
So moved.
And Ms. Osuna. Sorry, I knew there was somebody there, but I didn't.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to excuse was made by Ms. Butts and seconded by Mr. Prophet. Roll call, please.
Ms. Butts,
Yay.
Mr. Prophet,
Nay.
Ms. Hale,
Yay.
Mr. Croucher,
Nay.
Ms. Lucas,
Yay.
Ms. Hatter,
Yay.
Mr. Mello.
Yay.
Okay. We would also like to recognize our alternates in attendance tonight. Ms. Hatter is joining us. Thank you for filling in.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Nichols is in the audience. Thank you for always being here. Next on our agenda, we have approval of minutes. Are there any corrections that anyone would like to make to the minutes? Seeing that there are none, we'll need a motion to approve the minutes as presented to the September 9th, 2025 regular Parks and Recreation Board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Butts,
Yay.
Ms. Hatter,
Yay.
Ms. Hale,
Yay.
Mr. Croucher,
Yay.
Ms. Lucas,
Abstain.
Mr. Prophet,
Yay.
Mr. Mello.
Abstain.
There are no presentations on our agenda this evening. The next item would be audience of the public. If anyone from the audience would like to address the Parks Board, if you would step up to the podium, state your name and address. Have anything to share at this time? Okay. We will move on to unfinished business. On our agenda tonight is an update regarding the Veterans Memorial. Ms. Butts, would you like to?
Sure. The Veterans Subcommittee met to discuss fundraising ideas. We just had like a brainstorming session to discuss ideas for raising money for the Veterans Memorial. Came up with several things. One is there is a letter being drafted, I'm not sure where we are with that, and being sent out to area businesses. And then we had, Mrs. Hale was working on the Kroger, if you want to elaborate on that.
Right. Like Ms. Butts shared, we kind of had a brainstorming session. There were a lot of ideas tossed around. Sending out an invitation for people to join the Kroger Community Rewards Program, where people can select the Trenton Veterans Memorial as an option. And then Kroger sends a check. I don't know if it's quarterly, semi-annually, or how they do that. I did get the information and had passed it on to the city manager. There were a couple other people. Finance was on that email. I think we're still a little uncertain as to the proper format to follow. speaking on behalf of the city, I know typically those things come through you. Don't want to put anything else on your plate, but I also want to make sure that any of us who are representing the Trenton Veterans Memorial are doing it in the proper manner. So we made some inroads, at least to knowing how to get that set up.
Yep.
Anything else that you would like to share?
No, I'm pretty sure that we have several people who are going out and asking, talking to the businesses, and also looking for groups that are looking for some fundraising opportunities, and giving this as an option. I haven't heard back from anyone as of yet.
Right. Mr. Nichols had sent a couple of different lists to me, and those lists are being merged along with the city list that's on the website so that we can send that letter out to all of them. There were also some other recommendations made by the subcommittee to include some other organizations, such as the DAV, the
Butler County Veterans.
yeah, the Butler County Veterans Commission. Mr. Stone King was going to share some information with the Encounter Center and give them copies of the flyer that we have. Some of the other ideas that were tossed out, and like Ms. Butts said, pretty much everyone from the committee was there. I think we were -1?
One.
I'm sorry, we were
Oh.
-3.
Yep. Brothers.
But lots of great ideas, lots of recommendations of other foundations that we might also reach out to, a lot of the sporting foundations that support veterans in general, fraternal organizations, the DAV. The other thing that we discussed was participating in the homecoming parade, and thank you for getting those posters made. So Mr. Stone King drove his Hummer, I think it's a Hummer, that's also used as a veterans transport vehicle, so hopefully that brought a lot of attention. I noticed the sandwich board out front here when I came in tonight, so I think that looks really good, and like we had talked about, being able to put that in various locations. So again, some of the action items that Mrs. Butts was referring to was the letter, Kroger, couches, if anybody was interested in setting up a golf outing. And as we expressed to the subcommittee, we were not asking them to do all of these things. We're asking them to network with people that they know to help us pull off some of these ideas. And then also when we reach out to these other organizations to see if they might have ideas of their own. So, one of the other things that we discussed was checking to see if we could include the brochure with water bills with the next community newsletter, which will, I think, be in January. Mr. Nickel obviously got with Ms. Moore on the signage. The community roundup on the water bills is already in place. We had some further discussion about that. So that is only reaching those people who pay online through the city portal. So again, that was why we had asked if maybe the flyers or some communication could go out in utility bills at a future date. Let's see. There was a question, and I'd like to clarify. One of the members of the subcommittee asked why donations were going through the Middletown Community Foundation. So I would like everybody to know that the Middletown Community Foundation serves the Middletown area, which includes Trenton, Franklin, and Monroe, much like the Chamber of Commerce does. Let me see. So I think that pretty much hit all the items that we just, oh, there was another one. One of the ideas that was tossed out was to have coasters made. so that we could distribute these to area businesses and/or fraternal organizations with the QR code on it. And it also has the website listed, so thank you for dropping these off. We will start getting these distributed. If anybody has any ideas of where we might place these, please let us know. And again, if you have any other contacts that you would like the letter to go to, if you would let Mr. Nichols or myself know, we will add them to our mailing list.
I have a question about the coasters.
Yes.
Have you spoke with neighbors yet?
Not yet. I was surprised that we got these as quickly
Oh,
as
yeah?
we did, so when I got the text that they were ready, I was really excited. So,
I bet neighbors would be a good place, as I'm sure everyone does. And then Satch's
Uh-huh.
Bar and Grill.
yeah,
Probably pretty good
and Marcy
idea.
has,
We also mentioned the coffee.
yeah, the coffee shop, the Trenton Moose.
Yeah.
So just about any place. So I think we have 500 of these to start with, so we have a good number to get distributed. So if you know, like I said, if you know anybody that you would like to take them to and personally talk about the memorial, or just however you would like to do it, just so long as we can kind of keep track of where they're at so we don't duplicate effort, that would be great.
Mhm.
I think that's all I have about I'm sorry.
That's fine.
About the Veterans Memorial. Did you have anything to add? You were at the meeting as well. Did we miss anything? Next is new business. So Ms. Moore is up. Fall Fest event overview.
New business. First thing, did everyone see the gazebo?
I did,
Yes.
on my way home this afternoon. When was it placed?
Today.
Was it today?
Yes. There is caution tape on it because the crew stained it, so they need to keep everyone off of it for a couple days, and then it'll be open. I just want to mention that real fast, but. So for new business, first is Fall Fest event overview. So almost everyone in here was at Fall Fest. Amazing. I mean, it was an amazing time, amazing turnout, a great way to end the big events for the year, I think. I do have a couple notes on my end to share. So I'll share these, and then if anyone else has anything that they would like to throw at me for next year, go right ahead. And I feel this way with a lot of our concerts. I think we start a little early, and the sun seems to get right in everyone's eyes, our entertainers' eyes. So might try to see if we can have that maybe start an hour and a half later next year. So maybe proposing like an hour time back, so maybe like 3 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. instead. See how that would work out. I would like to invite the High Thrill Show back, Curiosities. So they did the fire performing and the stilt walking.
Ms. Moore, how much did that cost?
I can tell you exactly. They were $3,180. So that was for the
Wow.
intermission show and then the stilt walking before and after.
Did that come before this board to be approved?
Mhm.
I did talk about it, yes.
Okay.
Another note I'd like to make is that next year, I think we should find a specific car show or cruise-in promoter. So I know at this Fall Fest, we had, I think it was 23 people sign up for the cruise-in. The year before, it was around 50, so we did lose some cruise-inners. But just maybe work on that a little bit more next year, trying to promote it. But there was a lot of nice cars, and I was very happy with the cars that showed.
There was another cruise-in that I found out about
Hamilton.
somewhere else in the,
Hamilton had 400.
Hamilton and Liberty
Okay.
Township.
And then there was one out east, like in the Eastgate area as well. I don't know how far in advance they plan theirs out, but
Maybe
I
we'll
noticed a
just
few people in Hamilton that was at the one here last year, they went down there.
to Hamilton.
422 cars, that's hard to compete with that.
Yeah. Is that an annual, do you know? Mr.
It's
Miller?
every Saturday night in December. Kroger's down in Hamilton on the west side. This one was the one year they got rained out, so they extended it, otherwise it wouldn't have been on. But it got rained out, so they made the last one that last week.
I
It would have
see.
been the week before that
Yeah.
had been done.
Darn.
I think too, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about car shows, but I think there is a distinct difference between a car show and a cruise-in. There's also a, for lack of another word, a car show calendar that they put together and
There's one out. If you
and
wanna pay
promote early
$25 for it.
every year. Is that what they charge to?
Yeah, that's what charged me, and I got my last one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, we used to do one for the Ohio Challenge Balloon Festival, and I don't recall that there was a cost associated with it then, but that's been a few years back. So. But, you know, if we know the dates far enough in advance, maybe if we can get on some of those calendars, that would help people. So, I thought as a cruise-in, they would really take advantage of it and have a really nice parking spot for the fireworks.
Right? Well, other than those notes, that was really all that, everything else went fantastic. I don't think it could have went any better. I was really happy with it. I did want to note, so before we had talked about expenses versus income with these events, alcohol sales is our biggest driving force in the income. So for Fall Fest, it was $44,000. Income-wise, we did, for the beverage tent, it was $6,709, which was incredible to receive back. The Molson Coors ladies did let me know that is the busiest they had ever been. And they were steady busy for like the last 3 hours of the event. They had a line. For the vendors registered for this event, we had $1,650 raised. The poker tent raised $108. So altogether, we raised an income $8,467. So offsetting what Fall Fest cost originally, Fall Fest was $36,235. So I'm very proud of that. It was almost $9,000 that we managed to raise back for such an awesome event. For the Veterans Memorial, we raised $515. Yes. And that is the end of my Fall Fest notes. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add?
Yes. Personally, I think this just goes for all events. Would love to see more Parks members volunteer, and that goes even for movie nights. Then if we have a Parks table, we need to do feedback forms. What does the community want to see? The community is the one that we want to hear from. So their feedback is most important.
That's a great idea to add to
And
I have a thought on that. What if we had a Parks member that maybe went out and would talk to people about their thoughts and like
Yeah, I did that.
how that was going on, how that event was going, what was working, what wasn't working, and then, you know, okay, well, what would you like to see in the future?
I did all that.
Good, that's
But it's
awesome.
personally better for them to write their feedback and not just to get it to us, because there's some things that, you know, Billy Joe might have told me, and then I bring back to the board, but I'm not being accurate with what they told me. We need their personal feedback.
I was just thinking of those that wouldn't do that, but yes, I can see.
Yeah. So it That's really all I have. Every event, even the movie night, everything was awesome. I've had great comments, feedbacks, even from those who drove from Harrison that I knew, came to a couple of our movie nights and even Fall Fest. So we didn't have to compete with Homecoming. We still had enough. So that was really great.
Thank you.
No other Fall Fest comments? Movies is item number 2 under new business.
Okay, and then the Movies in the Park event overview. So this is event overview of all of the movies, not just the last one in October. So in my notes, I have September and October movies were not as well attended. And I do not know if that's because kids are back in school or if because the last 2 movies were older movies that we chose and the first 3 were new. That could potentially have something to do with it, or it could just be the fact that it's summer and kids aren't in school yet. So October is a very busy month with all the fall festivals going on all over the world. There were 5 huge city events the second weekend of October. And so those events were from Garber's Farm Market in Monroe, Operation Pumpkin in Hamilton, which had thousands of people, Hocus Pocus in Middletown, Nightmare on Main in Germantown, and then Barn and Bunk had a tractor parade. It was a challenge to find available food trucks and volunteers for this event. So maybe I just want to consider next year we do 4 movies instead of 5 for 2026, just something to think about. Another note I made is activities have gone very well during each movie, very happy with it. And then also maybe next year we consider only showing new movies and not any throwbacks or anything, and see if that helps with attendance. Does anyone have anything to add for the movies?
The only thing that I could think is, in the past, we've kind of polled through Facebook as to either a movie theme and then we pick movies. So I don't know if that's beneficial to the community. Like you said, the community is who we need to be hearing from, and I know we say that a lot, and we work really hard and try different avenues to reach people. So it's just the only thought that I would have as far as what movies to show.
I mean, I would put it out like December. Hey, pick your genre of movies that you would like to see next year in the park.
I know we did that this last year.
I would like maybe put it out there and leave it out there until after the first of the year, and then see what we would get back for that first initial meeting in the beginning of the year.
And I think, did we not add the extra movie this year? I know there's been prior years.
I think it was last year.
Last
I think
20
it
That was the
last
first year that we added
Yes.
the 5th one.
Because
Okay.
I think that is when it was Nightmare Before Christmas, I think, was the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, so October is just a busy month for a lot of people.
It really is.
So,
Yes, indeed.
and it was very cold too at night when that sun set. It was pretty chilly. There was kids sleeping, I'll say that, because it was very, very cold out.
Yeah.
And that is all I have for movies in the park.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to add? Okay. Item number 3 is to discuss future Parks Board member vacancy.
Right. So for expiring terms on December 31st of 2025, we have 4 members. That is Matt Hill, Amberly Osuna, Miss Christina Lucas, and then Ray Nichols. Now we know Matt had said that he was not renewing his term at the last meeting. Miss Lucas, do you plan on?
Staying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Mr. Nichols? just need to ask Ms. Osuna if she plans on renewing. So then with Matt, Mr. Hill being gone, Mr. Nichols would then be next in line to come up to the board. And then that would leave an open chair.
You do have two people that are running for council right now on this board, and you have Mr. Nichols on council, and that will be on council, and me as well. If you're going to have 4 people on council, why have a Parks Board? So I will be stepping off the Parks Board if Ray is going to come on. Because there doesn't need to be 4 people on council on the Parks Board.
I'm perfectly happy to stay as an alternate. You know, if we need an alternate, if we get more volunteers and don't need any alternate, that's fine.
I don't think we even need 3 people from the council on the Parks Board. There's nothing anywhere that says how many are supposed to be permitted, is there?
No, but it's supposed to go from Parks Board to council, and if you got 4 people, it's on council, it's on the Parks Board, it doesn't need to go to council then. No, there's no rules on that.
But I do agree, I know that we've had that conversation before.
I know when I first joined the Parks Board, they told me that there was only supposed to be 1 member of council on each committee so that they could report back. But I don't know if things have changed since then.
That's kind of been the policy in the past, but I don't think it's.
I would say that's just when I first joined.
I do not think it is written in the rules.
It makes sense, assuming that we have enough people showing interest in being on the
Right.
Parks Board that aren't on council. It makes sense that we wouldn't have more than 1. I would have no problem stepping down as well.
Well, Ms. Moore is reviewing the notes that she has on hand. I would also like to say that when we are considering the appointment of Parks Board members, we had previously discussed going into executive session to do that in order that everyone had an opportunity to feel free to speak. This is in no way directed at you, but I know that when we had our last meeting and when that appointment was being considered, we did not move into executive session. I believe that everybody that was on the board was in agreement, but as I thought about that after the fact, it occurred to me that we should have stuck with the format that we had previously discussed, because it may have precluded someone from sharing their thoughts openly. Like I said, again, that is not directed at you at all. I think we're all very happy to have you join us, and I think that that's what made it easy to just go ahead and not go into executive session. But like I said, I think we need to be mindful of that as we move forward so that people do have that opportunity to speak.
I looked through the rules and I do not see anything that says anything about council members being on the board.
I think Mr. Croucher brings up a great point, though, with if the majority of the board is comprised of members of council, then
Why do we have another board?
exactly.
So that being said, we could have anywhere from 1 to 5 openings
Yes.
on the board,
So
on the Parks Board. So it makes sense that we would put out, a call for applications if people are interested in joining and participating on the Parks Board. Because if there's an interest, then we need to let them be here.
If there's an interest, but we would like to see them come to the meetings first. They need to come.
Yes, I agree.
They need to be here and present. They need to come to a meeting before.
I got to say, that's probably the biggest disappointment. People fill out applications, say they want to be on the Parks Board. I actually got a lady that talks to me and tells me how she wants to be involved, but I can't even get her to come to a meeting on a Tuesday night, once a month.
They need to be at a meeting if they want to be involved. I just, that's just my aspect. If you want to go and be a part of something else, you're going to go and evaluate it first and not just show up for the event.
I agree, and that's with anything you want to be
Yeah.
a part of.
I mean, if even a job, like you're going to shadow a job before you apply for it, so.
Well, I can open, make a post on Facebook to open resumes, and then maybe at the next meeting, we see how many
Yeah.
receive. And I still need to ask Ms. Osuna, she plans on renewing.
Can you reach out to some of the people that's already gave us applications? Because one of the gentlemen has been at the movies in the park, he was at Fall Festival.
Vince been at a lot too.
Yep.
I think they just need to know, like, hey, please come to this next meeting.
Absolutely.
That way we can at least get
Get to know one another. And
introduction.
Let them get to know.
State their cause. I don't know.
We could have a whole new board of
Mhm.
people
Yeah,
in a
it-
couple months. That's,
And
That is
it's
not
nothing
all a
against
bad thing.
anybody that is running
No.
at all. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I just personally feel, I agree with Mr. Croucher. If we're gonna have a board of council, I personally don't think it's right.
I agree completely. I've discussed it
Yeah.
with
And
several people here.
At one time, and I know this goes back a number of years, I think it actually started with Mr. Perry, and I thought that he was appointed by council to serve as a liaison to the Parks Board.
What's Mr. Crawford now?
yeah, because I took Ryan's spot.
So you get to stay because you were appointed.
I'm just saying, we can't have that many people.
Oh, we all agree.
I want the Parks Board to thrive. I want it to be a real board. And if you got, well, we all discussed this already.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
beating a dead horse.
I think we're all in agreement. We just need to see if we.
And that's decisions that people are going to have to make. We will know by November 5th, which I think we already know. It ain't November 4th yet, but we already know who's going to win city council, in my opinion. So I'm looking at two people that I believe in my heart is going to win city council race sitting up here. So therefore, again, I'm the one that's been sitting up here the longest out of them, and I'm not trying to kick anybody off. I'd be more than glad to let you or you take this over. I do not need to stay up here. I get called an old grumpy old man on Facebook anyway, so I probably don't need to be up here anymore. That was funny.
We can cross
Y'all
that.
supposed to laugh. Yeah, y'all supposed to laugh. That was a joke, man. Come on.
Your sidekick won't like that.
Daggone.
We can cross that. We can cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, but
But
it
Maybe
would-
a matter of asking council again.
And
to
again-
But it's a
determine.
good conversation that
is,
we're having. and
since we
that's-
need volunteers,
Oh,
why are we putting a cap on the alternates?
Right.
That one I don't understand, because we only wanted 2 alternates before, but since we've growed and the movies have grown, the events have grown, you need more volunteers. And to me, if you're sitting on this board, you should be available to help. You should be volunteering at these events, especially if you're voting and you're planning them.
Well, I agree that people should help, but as a volunteer board, I think that that is up to individuals as to how much of their time they can extend of themselves. You know, I've heard it before, we need more people at movies in the park. That is not an event I attend. I have other family obligations. But you see me volunteer at every other event. So I don't want to have to walk out of this room feeling convicted over not showing up for a movie in the park. Or I don't want other people that might be interested in serving on this board or volunteering for events to feel like They are making this huge commitment of time that they may not have. You know, we want many volunteers. We want people. You know, we talk about whether we cap the number of alternates that we have or not. But to the best of my knowledge, anyone else that has submitted an application of interest at being an alternate member, I don't recall ever seeing them at a meeting.
Right.
I personally feel like if they're going to submit something, they need to be here at some point.
So, I mean, I hear what Mr. Croucher is saying. We definitely want everybody to be as involved as you possibly can. But this is a volunteer board. And I don't want an expectation or people who may be considering volunteering to fear that there is this expectation, because our number of events are growing and it's wonderful for our community. You know, we have a lot to offer, a lot of different segments of our community, whether they're older or people with kids, and the fact that we can have community events that are free for our families. And the kids are just thrilled. I mean, the stickers that they picked up at the 10 at Fall, I mean, you would have thought that they'd won a big prize.
Oh, yeah.
How much are these? Free.
Yeah. So, you know, again, kudos to the board, kudos to council and the city for having the ability and the willingness to hire a Kelsey, because, you know, that is, it's a big job. And not only is it a big job, but the number of events have grown exponentially, and I would hope that our community is very proud of that. I know as a member of the Parks Board, I am very proud of that. And at whether I'm a member of the board or not, you know, Trenton is my home, and it makes me proud to be able to say that we offer these kinds of things to a lot of different people.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to see who all we come across next
Absolutely.
meeting. Yes.
Yeah, so if anybody's watching on Facebook and has an interest,
Come to the meeting.
yeah, please reach out. And I think there are a lot of people that have been volunteering for the events that we really don't even know who they are. I know several of the churches in the community have gotten involved, and they bring their people who volunteer. So, you know, that volunteer pool goes way beyond those of us in this room. Anything else on the park board member vacancies? Anybody else have anything? Okay. Now we go on to reports by the board or city administrators. You're up again, Ms. Moore.
Yeah. All right, so the Veterans Memorial 5K, I just want to touch base on this. It is coming up November 8th. So we will not meet again before the 5K. So for t-shirts, the sales did end. We sold 30 t-shirts.
Nice.
I'm happy with that for a first year 5K. As of right now, we have 26 people registered to do the run walk. I'm hoping that maybe we can double it by the time of the event. And we're still accepting registrations up to the moment we start running and walking. So hopefully we'll have some people come in last minute as well. So we need a total of 4 hydration stations. I have one group of volunteers committed already. So we need 3 more groups. And so these hydration stations are just giving out water. Maybe have some music or something. It's just to pit stop, really, for our racers. We have some water left over from the movies, so we will use that to give away during this 5K. I don't think that we should need to buy much more water. We just need to find volunteers that will be happy to sit and encourage people and pass out water. So before this 5K begins, I would like to have a ceremony, and I know we talked about this briefly. For this ceremony, I know that Mayor Perry will say some things. I reached out to R.D. Allen, who played at the Jamboree. He's a Trenton local. I reached out to him and asked if he would volunteer his time to sing the national anthem for us before we start, and he agreed. So he will do that for us. And I know that we need a moment of silence as well. Does anyone have any other ideas as to what to add to our ceremony that would make it special?
Do we have any military present?
What did you say?
Military?
I did think about asking the subcommittee.
See if they could do like a gun salute or a full of flag?
Or if you're on the reserve, I think, color
Mhm.
guard or something.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
might have a color guard.
How about a U.S. congressman come? A war veteran,
And who might that be?
Warren Davidson.
Warren Davidson? Do you think Mr. Davidson would like to come say something or just be present? We can ask and go from there.
Those are great ideas.
Or if maybe you could reach out to Mr. Philpott at Edgewood for the ROTC program.
Oh, they have an ROTC program?
Yes, they do.
I did reach out to the cross-country.
Team?
I did reach out to him, asked him if he would help me get this information out, and he sent it to, I do not remember his name. It's the gentleman that's over the athletics.
Scott Clemens?
Yes, so he sent it to him, and Scott sent it out. The football players might have a playoff, so they cannot commit to coming. And then I do have two are food trucks, and then one is Tiki's, but those food trucks are supposed to be on site, and then I think it's 10% of anything they're going to donate back to us, so whatever's spent. And that is all I have on the Veterans Memorial 5K. Does anyone have anything to add to that? Any questions?
Moving on to the Christmas tree lighting.
Yes, Christmas tree lighting. So everyone has a flyer in front of them. I just posted this on Facebook. The event has been made. So it is Saturday, November 22nd. The time did change. It was, we talked about 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., but that was with the skating rink rental, because you had to do a 4-hour minimum. So we changed the time 6 p.m., 8 p.m. I think that's plenty of time for Christmas tree lighting. Be at Founders Park. So we have the Trenton Santa that will be there. We have an extension to our Christmas tree, so it'll be 18 foot tall this year. For this, the activities, there will be a petting zoo, hand-led pony rides, goodie bags to give away, hot chocolate and cookies, Christmas carols by Keys to Your Dreams, and then also a balloon animal artist and a face painter. And I do plan to have one food truck on site. And then we are promoting the Toys for Tots drop-off again. So on here it says, bring a new unwrapped gift and help us spread the Christmas joy. So there will be a sleigh in the city building. Probably the beginning of November is when it will be there, and that is for the Toys for Tots. So we stuff the sleigh with toys and hand it off to them, and they do use it in Butler County, so it goes to local families, which is very nice. That is all I have for Christmas tree lighting.
Did we have some conversation about a big chair?
We did, however, we have the gazebo now. And I don't think that we could fit a chair in the gazebo. So, a big Christmas Santa chair, I don't think that it would fit very well. So we are going to put that on hold this year. And Santa will be in the new, beautiful gazebo instead.
Did we, by chance, reach out to like the Corliers or anything? They turned us down.
I've not heard back.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Hey Kelsey, I had a question thinking about this, pictures with Santa. Is there, I know Jessica, who did photography to help me out for Fall Fest. So she has a business of doing photography. Have you thought about talking with her about giving like some sort of a discount or something to where she could do pictures with Santa?
Not yet, but it is an idea that I had to have
Okay.
a professional photographer on site. But that is an idea.
Does anyone else have any reports or comments before we move to adjourn? Want to start? Let's start down at this end. Mr. Mello?
Everything.
Okay.
Nope.
Is there a specific time that the tree will be lit between that 6 and 8 o'clock time frame?
It's either going to be 7 or 7:30.
Could we let that exact time be known? Because I was there last year and the PA system was a little bit quiet and there were a lot of people that missed the tree lighting itself and they were a little bummed out by that. So if we could designate a specific time.
That was actually another thought of mine, was to reach out to a business that could give us a better PA rental for that. Because you cannot hear that one.
Talk to my husband.
You're on State Street.
Yes,
Is that-
so
We got-
PA rental, and then, yeah, we will make, I'm going to assume 7:30.
I got it at home.
Because we want people to stay.
What?
Yeah,
I got a PA
so
system
It
at
would
home.
probably be 7:30.
Miss Moore,
We have a
I don't think we need to rent one.
Just talk to Dustin.
Okay.
We have a PA system.
He's got it at home.
That's all, that's all.
Yay.
You bring up
Does.
the point.
Wait, Dustin gets voluntold a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
God bless him.
He loves it. He loves it.
He loves it. I'll go see him.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And then one other thing that has been brought up to me just a few times, and it's not a huge deal, but some people thought that our banners that we hang for Fall Fest and our other events were a little too busy. Like, more or less, they follow the same basic theme as the flyers, and obviously you're trying to pack as much info as you can. But some people have said when they're driving down the road, it's hard for them to find, the time because it states something else going on, or I think the address to the park is listed, which is a good thing, but also a lot of people probably know where our park is at. But I've just heard some people say that it's just too busy when they're driving down the road.
The Jamboree, definitely. That was definitely way too busy. But I took note of that. And Fall Fest's banner was a lot different. I do think that Fall Fest was fine, busy-wise. I don't think that there was too much going on it.
Yeah. And these are just things that I heard.
Yeah.
I thought they were fine.
Driving
Yeah.
down, looking at the Jamboree, like, oh, you can't see
Yeah.
any of that.
But other than that, thanks for everything that you do.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Next.
Oh, you're okay. Overall. Really overall, every event was great. Great turnout for everything. Yes, I voluntold my husband everything. Every event he'll be at unless he has to work.
He was a great help.
And thank you. And that's really it.
Mr. Croucher?
2 weeks ago, I met with Pete, I'm going to butcher his last name, I can't say it correctly, Potoski. I butchered it. Anyways, he is a manager at Shape Corporation here in Trenton, and he's also involved with their community relations. And when I met him for lunch a couple weeks ago, he took the flyer for the Veterans Memorial, and Shape will be in touch with the city of Trenton. They're also looking forward to teaming up maybe with Movies in the Park, being a major sponsor, or possibly a concert, which would be shooting for the moon, like me and you talked about, Ms. Moore. But if they would be willing to be a $50,000 donor, I'd be more than glad to accept their money and give them VIP seating and everything else for their employees down there at Community Park. So was busy doing things like that for the Parks Board and trying to help out with the Veterans Memorial as well. But other than that, good job on Fall Festival. Kelsey, you've done very well. Very good crowd, one of the largest crowds I've seen. Something we might want to consider next year, and that's having a second beer booth. Because the line, I know why the beer sales was up. I mean, you could see the line the whole day was out there, and they were busy. They were busy. And that is how we revamp some of the money that we spend from the Parks Board is our adult beverage sales. So again, good job.
Ms. Butts?
I agree with having an additional vendor space for the beer. We might have even raised more because people would drink more, you know. They got to wait in that line. You might as well buy two, get at the end of the line, and go big.
You're not a double-fisted drinker.
Put them in that little hat with the straw.
Sorry, I couldn't.
But you know, I'm just saying. And again, you did a fantastic job with everything we did this year, and it's very much appreciated. And then I want to just encourage any citizen who is at all interested in the Parks Board or getting involved in any way to come to a meeting, meet all of us, see what it's about, and consider joining. It's a lot of fun. That's all I have.
Thank you.
I got one other thing, excuse me. Tips training.
Yes.
The city did send me for tips training, and it's a really fun booth to work, by the way, because everybody's friendly because you're giving them beer or something like that. So somebody on Parks Board other than me might want to consider taking that tips training. The city does pay for it. It's a relatively easy class. If you got someone stumbling and falling down, don't give them a beer. Well, and you got to check their ID too.
Unless it's me.
You get one
If
anyway.
I'm stumbling,
I'll give you two. You get two, one for
and then get
each.
in line.
Yeah.
They have those, what, twice a year?
Yeah. It's just an idea to help them out. If they don't have enough people, Molson Coors doesn't come up to do 2 booths, but I believe they probably do.
They were only able to find 3 volunteers at Fall Fest, and they typically have 4, so they were already missing one person.
That's something to take into consideration then.
Yeah, thank you.
And like you said, there were a lot of events going on throughout
Oh,
the
yeah.
area that I know that Molson Coors is involved with a lot, and they're very giving, so.
Yes.
One thing we could do too, we could separate the alcoholic beverages and the non-alcoholic, that would take some of the load off of the
Yep.
people that do have that training.
That's a great idea.
True.
Well, unfortunately, but fortunately, our event venue is going to change next year with Splash Pad, so.
Yep.
We will see how events lay out with the new design, so we will figure that out.
It will all work out.
It
There is
will, it
plenty of room.
It will, but that's all the fun space right there, so, but we have to expand and grow.
I had the opportunity to work the Parks Board tent, and so many people came up and were talking about even just the playground that they hadn't seen it yet, and they were just very impressed. So, lots of great comments at the time. I know for a while you joined me over there, and she's she's great at getting those people to stop by and chat. So,
I wanted to make that comment that since joining this board, it is amazing because you guys are so wonderful, all of you, how you have just welcomed me in, that builds my confidence to then move forward with everyone else that's coming to our community and just be your cheering section. So I really do appreciate it, and I cannot recommend highly enough, come out, join the board.
yeah, and if you have an area of passion, I mean, you don't
Yes.
have, like I said, my personal feeling, you don't have to show up for it all if you'd like to volunteer. If you have a passion for something, and especially like we had talked about, if you have a passion for veterans and want to somehow be involved in helping to fundraise that or spearhead a fundraiser, or even if you know of someone, get us the information, talk to council, talk to Ms. Moore, talk to anybody at the city. And the same with movies. And like Mr. Croucher said, he has an opportunity to attend some of these meetings and luncheons and, chat it up. And when you're there, you know what you're talking about. Like you said, it builds your confidence to be able to kind of quote unquote sell it. So, okay. If there is nothing else, I would need a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second. You're making me brave.
Motion made by Ms. Lucas, seconded by somebody. Ms. Hatter?
You got it.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Lucas?
Yay.
Ms. Hatter?
Yay.
Ms. Hale?
Yay.
Ms. Butts?
Yeah.
Mr. Crafter?
Yeah.
Mr. Prophet?
Yay.
Mr. Mallow?
Yay.
Okay. We are adjourned at 6:57 p.m.